A very good morning to you, Crafty Log. I am, well, Sarah's supposed to be here today, and I was supposed to be at the studios, but we switched sort of last minute. And I'm quite excited because I'm going to be using bracelet bars today, but what we're going to do is, instead of using them on as a bracelet, we're going to be using them on creating a lovely pieces of necklace. I love these bars because how you can apply them, you can apply them in so many different ways. So there is a necklace setting there, so it allows you to take one tiger tail all the way through, which will be holding your necklace up, and add little sort of multi layers, multi rows to the bottom. And just to show you, we've done plenty of bracelets before where we're just using them as like little dividers on there. Right, what you're going to need today, you're going to need tiger tail, you're going to need crim beads, you're going to need clasps of your choice. Now I got lobster clasp here, but you could be equally using any other clasp what you like to use. You could put a magnetic clasp on the end, or you could use whichever, or toggle clasp. There is a possibilities around this. There is so many different ones out there. Right, let me just get the comments up. Morning Margaret, morning Edward, Mercia, Elaine, Michelle, Debbie, Carol, Annie, Lucy, Marilyn, Rachel, Leslie, Jen, Brenda, Paula, Sheila. Sorry, there's so many lovely of you here. Morning Camille, Susan, Mina, Alison, Alicia, another Margaret, Helen, Julie, Chris, Debbie. Debbie's saying, morning, completely forgot about the TV show until 9:50. We'll watch on catch up later, Kitty. Oh, bless. Right, so let's get started. I'm going to turn you down. Actually, what I'm quickly going to do is to put my phone on airplane mode so we don't get disturbed. And I'm going to turn you down on my mat. Right, so what we're going to be making, we're going to be using these bracelet bars, and I'm going to show you some here. Let's just take this a little bit further up. So these bracelet bars, some of them have 2 holes, some of them have 3 holes. They are really, easy to use. Some of them have sort of a deeper place at the back. Some of them are more shallow. I love this flowery one as well. But again, it has two holes, so it supports whatever you're making really nice and straight. I got this one as well. I love these large crystally ones. They look really great as well. So applying them into a necklace is a little bit different than applying them into a bracelet. When you apply them into a bracelet, and there is many different kind on the website, I just sort of grabbed 3 of my favorite ones, so I thought we're going to use these today. There's many different style on the website. Really, you can take your pick. In bracelets, what you want to achieve is that every single segment between your bracelet bar is the same, so you get a nice and a straight bracelet. And let me just bring this one. This one is using miracle beads, and it's this bracelet bar. It comes in 2 different colors. This is the silver, and this is the antique silver. Now, so we want to keep our bracelet nice and straight. Now, when it comes to necklaces, what you want to do is each row as you come down has to be slightly bigger as you take your tiger tail through. So at the top, I used, in this example, I used a 6mm, an 8x10, and a 6mm bead. And I often, when I design necklaces like these, I add them up. So 2 times 6 is 12 plus 8 is 20. Now in the next row there is 3 8mm beads, so 3 times 8 is 24mm, and at the bottom again that is 6 and 6 is 12, 20, that's 28. So we got 20mm, 24mm, and 28mm at the bottom. And by doing that, the increasing the number or the size of the beads as you go along, or number of the beads, you are creating this really lovely fan sort of shape necklace at the front. And if I turn it around, you can see it's only the top row goes all the way through. These rows are really just secured within the bar itself. So it's a really nice and easy make as well. And it looks a little bit more complicated, but it's very, very nice and easy. Right, let me just see if you got any questions or any comments, and then I can get into the making morning. Oh, Leanne is here with me. She just put her hand up like a little school kid that somebody wants to ask something.
Yeah, Margaret's asking, she loves your bead curtain behind you. Did you make or buy it?
Right, the bead curtain behind me, let me just turn you back on me. This is, we sell this by the meter. If I just, hopefully I'll pull it, I'm not going to put it all the way down. This is like just some acrylic pearls on a monofilament. If you can put the link in, if it's, I think it's, I'm sure it's on the website. And we had a couple of different colors. We had this lovely, I guess like a plum peach and ivory color, and we had a monochrome color as well. And I just sort of suspended it on a piece of wood, and I just think it makes a little bit of a nice decoration of something a little bit interesting behind me. And you could do this like, you know, any wall you have at home. You could do this above your fireplace or just really hang them down. They're sold by the meter, and I think they're quite inexpensive as well. So you can. You need quite a few meters, because I think I used about 2 meter lengths and I got quite a few, but you can do a lot with them. Right, so back to the lilac miracle beads are gorgeous. Yes, they are. We haven't really worked with miracle beads lately because we had the bottom man and other kits with the miracle beads, and quite simply we sold out of loads of the colors. However, we got shipment coming, which we hopefully going to take in delivery tomorrow or Monday, because they're not here on Friday. That we got many new miracle beads, and I ordered some new sort of larger sizes and bits and pieces, so you will see it will be here next week. I really can't wait. It's like Christmas Day. When we get a new delivery in the warehouse, it's like Christmas Day for us, because I ordered it perhaps back in April or May, and by the time you get to, you know, August, or when you get your deliveries, you forget what you really did order, and then it's like Christmas Day, opening all the boxes. And we got, I think that they're delivering 207 boxes in total. It's 8 tons. So it's going to take us a little while to get through it, but we will do. Right, so I'm just going to take one piece of tiger tail. I'm going to make all this row going all the way around. Now the beads, what you could be using is, what I'm going to do, we had these bundles on, and quite a few of you had the pearl bundles before. And we said that we're going to be returning and doing bits and pieces with the bundles, so you can, because you get such a good price on the bundle itself. So we thought that we keep returning and using them in different projects, because something like this, it doesn't really matter what sort of beads are going to be using on there, as long it's just sort of a selection of beads what you want to have. I'm going to use, I think, some of these larger crystals. Now, we have put the links in the on the website as well, and I'm very quickly going to show you while I rearrange this on the table. If I go to the website view, so if you go on our website, which is in the categories on the left hand side, the fourth one is paperbook tutorials. If you go in there, today we're doing the bracelet bar necklaces, and the bracelet bars what I just showed you, they're all in there, and all the little bundles in there. Now normally, like the crystals, they're £2.50 a string. In the bundle they work at £1.50 a string, so it's well worth the get. And I know a lot of you have bought and they bought these bundles. So what I wanted to do really is, well, what me and Sarah both wanted to do, to be revisiting sort of some of the bundles, using them in different projects. And we featured the pearls so many times now, and we featured the crystals as well. So, and they're great because, I'm going to turn you back on me, they are really great because you get a really nice mixture of colors. So it's not a long, you get to work with colors what you not normally order. You get to play with colors that you know, otherwise you were like, for example, I would not go for a green because green is not really my color if I just was picking the color separately. But if you put the green with a little bit of purple, it just looks really gorgeous because it brings the purple out even more shiny and looks even better. So I am gonna go and choose a couple of pearls. Now I think I'm gonna use 6mm and 8mm from my pearl bundle. And what was great with the pearl bundle is that, I'm sorry it's not all I got in a really nice tray at home, but doing the Facebook Live from birthday. What's great about it is that you get the 6mm and the 8mm in the same color in there, and there is 20 colors, so 40 strands all together, and you get one 6mm and one 8mm. I sometimes this is the hardest part when you're doing something, is just sort of to choose the color. I just picked the top 5 colors from there, and which one shall we make something with it? So let me know. I got an aqua here, I got sort of a petrol blue, I got a navy blue, I got this really lovely very dark turquoise, and I got a tealy color. Let me know which one you liked best, and I will make the necklace with that one. Just take these crystals out. So aqua, or if you want, we got purple here as well, but now I'm just going to give you so many options. So what do we like the best? Let's put the purple in the box because the purple is my other favorite one as well. So what do you guys saying? What color shall we make with? Aqua, a petrol blue, a navy blue, teal this one. Yeah. Right, so I'm going to put teal aqua. I like the petrol blue. You're going to say different colors. We got 2 for the tail now. 2 for the petrol, 3 for the petrol. Let's go with the petrol blue because most of you saying petrol blue. Yeah, Leanne's saying she loves the petrol blue as well. Right. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my crystals and I'm going to match a color up for my bundle. Now when you're using sort of a petrol blue colors like this, you can take it towards, this is like a hematite color. I can put it with a purple and it's still going to really nice. And often when I choose my colors, what I do, I put them down on my mat, and I know I want to use these 2 purples, and I just keep swapping. I actually quite like that purple. I keep swapping my crystals until I get to one which I think actually that's going to go really nicely with it. If I put the aqua next to it, the aqua is nice, but it's not quite the right for, I guess, for my eyes. So let's see the pink. Now the pink is totally out there. So I just sort of go through my colors and just choose the best one. I think we got green and other bits and pieces in here as well. But I think, how about doing a AB color with it? No, I think that's going to be too overpowering. I think I'm going to go with the purple, mixing that blue and purple. I think that's going to look really good. If I bring it up a little bit, you can see, I think that's going to look really nice. And get that one out. Now, actually, I got a purple in the smaller crystals as well, so it's all set. So we're going to use these colors. Right, to start with, we're going to make the top of our necklace. Now you can start anywhere and you can actually put as many segments as you want. Which one shall we use? I like all 3 of them, but I think my favorite one is probably this one. It's a little bit plainer. These have got like little diamantes in them. Let's use this one. Like a simple flower. So it's really up to you how many you want to use at the front and how, far you want to space them out. As a thumb of rule, I usually go for 5 or 7 because I think 3 is too little, but you could put 9. I like to use uneven numbers, so you always got one in the middle. Let's go with 5. So I'm going to start by one end. Don't forget, this is the top row we're doing. We're going to go all the way to the top, so you can create any sort of patterns what you like to do, But I'm going to start by doing a smaller, I'm going to use my smaller beads at the top. So I'm going to take my 6mm pearls, and actually I'm going to take this smaller crystal, and we're going to keep those gorgeous larger crystals for the bottom. So I'm going to go through both, it's like sort of hole goes all the way through on the side there, and I'm going to string it onto my tiger tail. Now, only thing you have to be sort of mindful here is that you're picking them up in the same way, like with any multi-hole bead or any multi-hole finding. You want to have, yeah, I think that's going to sit nicely, and I'm actually going to take an 8mm bead as well. Now, this is what the beauty of this, and this is what I love about beading. Just cut this strand, that you can sit there and you can make so many different patterns. You can really do whatever you like with it and get very unique results, very unique necklaces, and very unique jewelry. I'm going to add, yeah, that's right, I think I like that pattern.
Margaret's a good choice, Kitty.
Ah, thank you, Margaret. Well, actually, you helped a little bit as well because you choose the petrol blue. Now, when I got the pattern at the top, which I wanted to add to it, I'm going to slide on my next bracelet bar. Again, I'm going to slide it on the same way, just going through to the back. I'll let it to go down, and I'm going to repeat this pattern all the way until I added all 5 of my I keep calling them bracelet bars. I've been making a necklace at the moment, so it's like, but they are called bracelet bars on the website as well. Multi-row bars, shall we say. That's probably a better way to describe them, because you can use them for a lot of different things, not just bracelets and necklaces. So I'm just going to add my pattern on, and the next bar. Now do stop and check that, because I think I'm a little bit out of it. Let's bring this down a little bit so you can see. Do step time to time, and before you move on, check that you added the right pattern to your necklace, because believe me, I done it as well, that I strung almost the whole necklace on with all the beads, and I realized in section 2 or section 3 I made a mistake, and there is either a little bead missing, or there's an extra bead, or something is not quite right, and then I have to go back, unstring it, and start again. But we're just playing. We haven't secured anything yet. We can chop and change anytime we need to. So I'm going to add one more section. Bring the tiger tail up a little bit more. Now I like to start in the middle, even though I'm doing the top row, and I'm going to go all the way back with my necklace. I like to start in the middle, because depending on what pattern you, and especially if you're making your pattern up there and then, you're not really sure that how many beads you're going to add to the front, so how big is the front you're going to be. I always like to start in the middle, so I'm starting in the middle. I got my middle section right there, so now I know it's going to be this big, and then I just sort of repeat. You can either repeat this pattern all the way through, or you can make a different pattern up, or you can just add a couple of crystals at the beginning and add pearls all the way going to the back. It's up to you, because it's your design, and you can do whatever you like. But when I'm doing the back part, what I like to do, I take both ends of the tiger tail and I hold them side by side. So whatever I add onto one side at the same time, and adding one on the other side as well. So I'm making sure I won't end up with a wonky necklace, and it's going to be nice and straight. So as I said, you could do any pattern going all the way to the top. It's up to you. I'm going to take a couple of bigger ones in here. because we're gonna layer up the front, we're gonna add another 2 layers there, and I'm just gonna turn you around so you can see. We're gonna add another 2 layers here. Your at the moment your necklace looks like really delicate and sort of really small because you only got one line of beads here. But when we add the other 2 rows and fill this up at the front, your necklace is going to look like a little bit more chunkier. So going to the back, you could add larger beads or stick with larger beads as well to make your necklace a little bit chunkier. But again, it's your design. It's really, it's up to you what sort of pattern you want to follow or what you want to do. So I think I'm going to finish with just adding one section here. I need another bead, another 6mm bead. I somehow managed to put a knot on the end there, the end of the strand where I was taking my pearls off, and I'm just going to add this into here. Right, so I just repeated that pattern one more time, and I could either go, I think I want to do it sort of a little bit simpler, so I could either add crystals or pearls at the back. Now, if you're just going to go with one type of bead, which I'm going to show you on these crystals, what I do, I don't take the crystals off the strand itself because they come pre-strand. Most of the crystals, most of the pearls, they come on sort of a monofilament, or some of the pearls, they do come on a sort of like a cordy material already. So I don't take my beads off straight away. And actually, I just move this out of the way so we got a little bit more room. I'm sort of squashed myself in the corner of this camera. So don't take them off. What I do, I line my end up under the tiger tail, and I line up with the monofilament, and I just pull the beads over sort of as many as I need, counting them. That's 2, 3, and this is really makes it much quicker because you're not picking up. If you want to do add the same bead going all the way to the top, we're not picking up one by one, we're pulling them over. Another way you could do it, which hopefully I will be able to show you, if you hold up your monofilament with the beads on and take your tiger tail, so this is vertical now, take your tiger tail and just stick it down the whole of the crystal, and you might have to sort of go up and down a little bit as you go along to find the hole on your crystals, but you will find that with that technique as well, you will bring over quite a few crystals at the same time. Whichever is more comfortable for you, it just makes life a little bit easier because you don't have to pick them up, and very easily you can bring through, you know, quite a few crystals. So you need to make sure you got how many crystals you got on one side, you have the same amount of crystals on the other side as well. But of course you could make your own pattern. You could add 5 crystal, a pearl, another 5 crystal, a pearl, or more pearls, less crystals. It's up to you. I'm just going to take these through very quickly. And I think you might need a few extra, just sizing up, but I think that's probably about the right size for me. So I'm going to add the crystals to the other side as well. Again, very quickly, I'm going to line the end up and just push the beads over very quickly. Because otherwise, if you take them off the strand, you'll be there forever picking them up and adding one by one, sort of rolling the beads between your hand. And the great thing about this, because they're still on the strand, all the holes sit the same way.
Lorna was saying she likes it with just the one strand and the decorative drop sections already.
You can add as many rows as you want, you know, you could just a simple stringing technique, I guess. And sometimes we do forget, because I love doing my bead weaving, I love doing all sorts of things and adding layers and textures and different for necklaces and bracelets. And sometimes even I forget the simpler, sometimes simple things look better than a really complicated thing. So time to time I love going back to a very simple technique and just playing around with it, because I guess you don't have to think about the structure of the necklace so much or the bracelet. You are concentrating really on the colors and perhaps different size of beads. So I'm just going to put these two side by side and see. I've got two extra on this one, so I need another two on here, just like that. And I'm I'm just gonna try around my neck and see if I need to make, I think I need to add another probably 4 crystals, maybe 3, 4 crystals to either side to have the right size for me, because I don't like necklaces when they come sort of right up against your neck. So I like to wear them a little bit longer. And this is what great about making your own jewelry, because you're making to the size what you want them to be. And we always joke with Sarah because she's got a dainty little wrist. She's got a dainty little neck, and when we talk about sort of beads and sizes and everything else, I always say to her, well, is this a Sarah size or is it me size? So we have started making jewelry and referring it to be Sarah size and Kitty size. Bless. Right, so I'm just going to add the ends. I'm using a clot, crim beads, and a couple of clots, crim beads, and a lobster clasp, but you could use, as I said, a toggle. You could use magnetic glass, really anything what takes your fancy. So crim beads we need as well. Now
Julie's just asking, how would you join the two other rows to the bars?
I'll show you that just in a second. I'm gonna put the ends on here so our beads are not gonna fall off, because both of these, because we are working from the middle, both of our ends are sort of there. There's not secure, and we haven't secured anything on there. So before I move on to work in the middle here, I'm gonna just add the ends onto my necklace. So because it's going to be a separate tiger tail there at the bottom there, so our necklace is nice and secure. Now the cloths are these little sort of clamshell sort of findings, or two balls stuck together at the bottom, and it's got a hole through. Let me just pick it up with my pliers so I can hold it better. It's got a hole through the bottom, and that's where we're gonna string our tiger tail through. Then you're going to add a couple of crim beads. Now these crim beads are little metal beads which we going to crush down with our pliers. Now this clot is big enough to hold 2 of them, and since my children were really little, what every single time you picked up my son, he would either pull on my necklace or pull on, well, he's 9 now, so I haven't lifted him for quite a few years now, bless him. I think I couldn't. You would need a, oh, what those those trucks called? Those, or not trucks, like what?
You mean, I can see it in my head.
Yes, where you lift the sort of the construction machines where you lift oh, my mind is blank already, and it's only Wednesday. So I just squeeze the crim beads on there. I'm just sort of trying to speed this up a little bit because you're going to be crimping quite a few times. I added the callot on the other side as well. Again, I'm adding a couple of crim beads, but first I'm just going to, oops, I pinged that one. I'm just going to take one crim bead, going to let it go all the way down. I'm going to take my chain nose pliers and I'm going to crimp the crim bead there. Now, when you're crimping it, I don't like to crimp my necklace straight. down in front of me, because the tiger tail is a nylon coated steel material and it hasn't got any give or take in it. So if you crimp it too tight when you're trying to put your necklace on, it's not going to be fluid. It's going to want to pucker because of the tension in the tiger tail itself. So I either keep it in the necklace shape, just like that, or I either straighten it out but curl the end back, sorry, just like that. So I got a little bit of extra. We're only talking about a millimeter here. There is not, not too much length, just a little bit of an extra. So your tiger tail is not going to be too tight. I just turn the end back, and I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna grab this little crimp bead. I haven't squeezed it yet, so it's in my pliers. I can still move it. I'm gonna try it as close down inside the collar I can. Now I'm pulling the tiger tail with my other hand. I'm holding the crimp bead with the pliers, pushing it down towards my necklace, and then I'm just gonna crimp it and just sort of squeezing it nice and flat. It's just inside there. You see?
Forklift. There's a few people on there said forklift truck guys say.
Yes, definitely. It's not the forklift I was thinking of. I remember crane. Crane,
Yes,
that's it.
the one.
That's what I was thinking of. You need a crane to move him now. He's not. He's like, he really likes his food. So he's not chubby or anything, but I couldn't. I reckon he must be about 40-45 kilos, bless him. How many? I don't know how many stone is that. That must be at least six stone, 7 stone.
Debbie was saying the same as well, and that her son's just turned 13 as well.
Oh, sorry. I'm just thinking about my coffee, and I think it went down the wrong hole. Excuse me. Right, so I added another crimp bead on the top. So we got 2, and I'm gonna go in and crimp this as well. Fold it nice and flat, right next to each other, so the extra secure. We got, I don't even know how we got to the crane, talking about cranes, but oh yes, so he used to tug on my jewelry when he was little, when I picked him up, and because we double crimped it, we are extra secure. That I'm gonna cut my tiger tail, so the flash cutter is right on the top of the little crimp bead there. If I bring it up a little bit more, I hope you can see it. Pull on my tiger tail and cut the end. I'm gonna close the clot in here. You can either do it in your hand, you can do it with a pair of pliers. The 2 loops need to be right on top of each other, and then I'm gonna get a jump ring. Open the jump ring by twisting it apart. So I'm holding it with 2 pairs of pliers, supporting as much as I can, so I don't sort of make it come out of shape. Make sure the jump ring goes through both of the loops there, and then I'm going to twist it back in. If I show you from the top, as I'm twisting it back in, I'm going to go past the midway just a tiny bit, and it will spring shut. If you feel the ends rubbing together, then you know you got the right, they're completely closed. I'm just going to add the other side now. This side, when I'm adding the jump ring, at the same time I'm going to add my lobster clasp on there as well, and just turning it back. So we got a functioning necklace now. All we need to do is to finish the section in the middle. Now to do this, I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to take a piece of tiger tail. It doesn't have to be very long. Actually, this is what I cut off the end of the necklace, and I can use this. I'm going to add a crimp bead to the end of it. Just take a crimp bead and a crimp bead right to the end of it. Just sort of crimp it nice and flat. And I'm going to come in the second row of the necklace. I'm not going to go, well, you could, with this one, you could go all the way the side of it, because the flower will, the flower here will, as it comes out a little bit, it will cover your crimp bead. But in cases like this one, if I went, I'm just going to show you, if I went all the way through both of the holes, your crimp bead would stick out on the end there, which you can cover up with a crimp cover or some sort. But if you just go through the second hole, the crimp bead is going to be nice and hidden. So that's what we're going to do here in the flower. I'm not going to go through both of the holes, I'm just going to go through the sort of the middle one, and that crimp bead is just going to sit inside my finding there. I hope you can see it right there. So that's it. Now I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to make my pattern. So remember, when we're talking about, you have to do a little bit of math, because however, how much ever is your top rows adding up, your middle row is just going to have to be slightly bigger. So here we had a 4 by 6, we had 8 mil and 6 mil. So 6 mil and 6 mil is 12, plus 8 is 20. We got 28 millimeter worth of beads there. So our next row, we need to make it to probably about 32 mil, which, if we added larger crystals, and we're only going to use a few of these, if we add, instead of the smaller crystal, if we add larger crystal in there, will be pretty much the right size, because it's just going to give you another 4 millimeter on each one of those sort of sections. So I'm going to start off by picking up a small pearl, like we did at the top. Instead of the small crystal, I'm going to pick up one of these larger crystals, and I'm going to pick up an 8 millimeter pearl, another large crystal, and a small pearl. And now I'm going to take my tiger tail through the second row all the way through my second bar there. And when I pull this tight, I'm just going to sort of check it, and as you can see, it's sitting in an angle already, so I know this is gonna work, and it's gonna make my necklace at the front nice and curvy. Now, depending of how curvy you want, you can add more or less beads to it, but to be honest, like, working this out is really just playing around. You can apply the math, but sometimes, oh, I need a larger one there. You can apply math to it, but sometimes it's really, you know, when we talk about 8 millimeter beads, they have a little bit of sort of give and take on them, and it might be 8.1 millimeter, what the factories are made, because they are allowed 10%, well, up to 10%, I suppose, size difference, and might not exactly work. What guess what I'm trying to say? If it works on paper, it might not exactly work in real life. But in that case, you just sort of take it back and maybe add or take a bead, or try with a different bead. You haven't fixed anything in the second row yet. You're only just stringing your beads and pearls on. And depending of, you know, what patterns you make, you could again do. It's your design. That's what the beauty of it. But what I love the most is playing. I always say playing with my beads, because I'm playing with different colors and playing with different sizes. Lorna is saying my oldest is 32 and my youngest is 27. In October, he will make me feel old. Well, my oldest is 20 and my youngest is 10. So it's sort of like well, he's not, I'm referring to him as 10, but he's only 9. He will be 10 in October, but he's quite tall. Bless him. I'm just adding the last section here. And another crystal. Now, depending, you're going to have to crimp this off on the other side. Depending on what sort of bar you have, or how much gap you have on the back. I'm just going to take both of these through just to double check the length, but I think that's giving us a nice curve, doesn't it? So I think that's going to look great. Now I'm going to turn you around. I'm going to take this last one back out. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through one side of the hole, and I'm going to take my tiger tool to an angle so I'm coming right up. I'm going to add a crimp bead, let this to go right down into that sort of hole or little bit of a sort of dip here, and I'm just gonna pull my tiger tail nice and quite tight as well, not over tightened but quite tight as well. Then I'm gonna go in with my chain nose pliers and I'm gonna crimp that end just there. That's it. Just crimp it nice and tight, flush cutters towards the crimp and just cut the end off. So that's it. We secured our second row. Now going on to the third row, I'm going to take another piece of tiger tail. Again, I'm going to add a crimp bead to the end. Just take add a crimp bead to the end, and we're going to add it to the third row there. So let's go from this side. So I'm going to just go through that loop, not both of them, just one of them, so the crimp bead will go in and sit in that little gap. And when I turn it around again, I have to come up with my third pattern here, which is going to have to be a slightly bigger than the second one. So as we counted out, the second row was 4mm bigger than the first one, and the third row again has to be 4mm bigger than the row before. So working out what sort of pattern you want to do. Now you can mix as many beads as you want, smaller ones, bigger ones. We could just add one row of crystals here, or adding more pearls. It's really it's up to you. We could have alternated the pattern in between. I'm gonna go and start with a 6mm pearl because I started with that one there. So I know before I go through, I need to add another 6mm. And often I just sort of make it up as I go along and work out the sizes. I think, where are small crystals? Have they gone off? We would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I would need times 2, 16. 16. I'm probably not going to have enough of small crystals, so because I use them all the way on the top. So if we used, I would just want to use more crystals at the bottom. I think if I used 4 crystals, just larger crystals at the bottom here, to make it a little bit more sparkly, that's going to give me the right length. I'm just going to quickly try it. So I just added 1 6mm pearl, I added 4 larger crystals, and I'm going through the second bracelet bar. Yes, that's right. That's going to give me the right length there.
Diane's mentioning she likes the miracle beads as well.
The miracle bead one was really nice as well. We are taking delivery of miracle beads. Hopefully, they're delivering it either Thursday or Monday, and Leanne is going to be very busy photographing them next week, and they're going to go on the website. So we got so many sizes and different colors coming. The order was quite large, I have to say.
Oh, I'm happy with that. I love looking at them.
I did. Usually, when I put the orders together, I just can't resist. And then Simon goes because he's obviously he's the one who sorts out the prices, and he's the financial. He used to be an accountant before we did the beads, and of course we're going back like 15 years now ago. But he used to He always says, like, how much did you order? Did you really need it that many kilos? Did you really need it that many colors? And I was like, yes, I did.
Always needed.
Always needed. There's never enough beads.
No.
So I'm just going to go all the way and add the same pattern at the bottom there. All the way along. You can really create, as I said, any pattern you like. It's your own design. By using these bracelet bars, which is not for just bracelets, it's for necklaces. It can be necklaces or anything else. I just really wanted to show you how easy it is to use them. I just chosen 3 different designs and added them into the page, but there is many other ones with all sorts of different number of rows on them, because you could do this with 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 rows, 5 rows, as many as you wanted, really going along. But it's just straightforward stringing we're doing here, because we're not doing anything complicated, but it just makes your necklace that little bit more interesting. Oh, Sue's saying she loves miracle beads. Yeah, me too. Oh, Camilla's saying still a baby then compared to some of us. I think that was referring for my children, I guess. Yes, sometimes he's still a baby. Right, I think that's going to work perfect. That's going to give us a perfect curve there. I really do love it. Right, so I'm going to secure this end the same way as I secured the second one. I'm going to pull this one back out. I'm going to go through this last hole, but I'm going to go through an angle, so I'm only going through one of them and I'm coming straight up. Then I'm going to, let's turn this around. I'm going to pick up just one crimp bead, let it go all the way down. I'm going to take my pliers, pull this nice and tight. I'm just going to hold that crimp bead into place.
She's got a little emoji with heart eyes.
And I'm just going to crimp it. So sort of crush that crimp bead right down and just cut the end. And that's it. Our necklace is ready. So we're using a very simple technique, just stringing, but we created something like, you know, a multi-row necklace at the front, but with the help of the bracelet bars, it was really easy to make, and you can take, you know, your own design. Right, let me turn you back. Oh, Minnie's saying never too old. Oh no, I think I'm a firm believer you're only as old as you feel, and some days I do feel, I suppose most of the days I feel like 12. Almost the same age as Lucy. And in fact, Lucy's 13, so she's exceeded me. But some of the days I feel 80. And that's it. Our necklace is ready, and I'm just going to pop it on. Let me just get this right in my hand so I can hold it. But you can see how really easy it is to make. Just slipped. How really easy it is to make your own necklace, multi-row necklace. And I'm going to pull the, can I pull my top down? Let's get my hair out of the way. I decided to grow my hair, so I think you can make a really nice multi-row necklace with just the help of 5 little bars. But again, as I said, it's your own design. We could have added 7. We could have made this section smaller so they would have been a bit closer together. It's really up to you what, like, you know, how you want it. But you can make a more substantial piece of jewelry with very simple techniques and the help of these bars. I hope you enjoyed the video. Do check out the page, because I have Leanne added these ones in there, so you know exactly the ones I've been using. It's on the page. The bundles are on the page as well, which you know, these bundles of crystals and bundles of pearls. I love this pearl bundle, and I got one at home, which I used quite a few colors. I used up. It hasn't got the teal at home anymore because I used the teal one up. But I love these ones because you get such a variety of colors. You get 20 different colors. You get 6 mil and 8 mil, and because it's a huge bundle, you get a huge saving on the price as well, because like the crystals you get 10 strands for 15 quid, otherwise they £2.50 a string each, so it would be 25 quid there. And we are, well, we did say, and we are coming back and using them over and over again. Right, so that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I could have inspired you just to sort of pick up and do some little stringing, some little, you know, but you can make really stunning necklaces as well. So tomorrow it's going to be me again. Sarah is going to be coming down tomorrow, and we're going to have a really good planning day on Friday and Saturday as well. We're going to work on Saturday. I'm really looking forward to it. I love when she's down here because we get these sort of bands off each other, I guess. So I say, oh, well, let's do this way. And she said, well, how about if you do it that way? And then I will go, well, how about if you do it that way? And then the end result usually is quite good. So I think we work quite well together. I'm really looking forward to it, for her to come down. Right, so that's it for me today. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll be back tomorrow at 10 with you. And I think it's Sarah on Friday, but yeah, it's Sarah. I haven't got my diary in front of me. I think she's launching some lovely roses on Saturday, so do stay tuned for that.
Question from
Yeah.
Nina is asking, are you doing more candle holders at the moment? It's not in stock currently.
I'll have a look. I'll put you on the list to check the candle holders, because I don't know, it's depending on what color. Sometimes I know we got plenty of the 5 or 6 millimeter crystals, what we use underneath there, but sometimes if the glass pearl goes out of stock, or the glass bead what we use for it. Sorry, I got the fan on here upstairs here, because upstairs in the office at the moment is quite hot at the warehouse, and my beer is blowing everywhere. So sometimes the glass bead, if it goes out of stock, we got a very similar one what we can replace it with, but because it's went out of stock, the whole bundle or the whole kit went out of stock. So I will have a look. Was it a particular color you were interested in or wanted to get? Do let me know, and I'll have a look at that one. The answer, she's going to make a note.
Yeah.
A few people have been asking for the candle holders on the group. Do you mean, Lucy, to do another video on the candle holders, or do you mean the kits themselves? Actually, we could do another video on them quite easily, because with the candle holders, not only you can just make them into candle holders, but you could make them really lovely napkin rings as well. So perhaps I have a little play with that, and we could have as an extra pattern for the candle holders to make them into napkin holders, and it's gonna look great as well. But anyway, I will go through the comments later if you have any other questions, and I will answer it. Do have a lovely day. If you make anything, please share your pictures in one of our groups, because I love seeing we all come up with different designs and use different beads and prefer different colors. Actually, that color goes quite nicely with my top today. I might leave it on because I got sort of little purple flowers in there. So I might leave this one on today. Yeah, I should keep this one. I should go home to my jewelry box. This one will, I think. I will just forget to take it off, I think. That's it. That's just walk home with it. Right. Right, everybody. Thank you very much. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a lovely, lovely day. And keep on creating, keep on crafting. Goodbye.